Hi there, this is Dr. Evan Osar of the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education, which is now Integrative Movement Institute. Thank you so much for joining us today on Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, March 16th, one day before St. Patrick's Day. So, got three things for you. First of all, thanks for joining us. That's not one of the three things, but thank you for joining us. Truly appreciate you being part of our community and allowing us to be part of your community. So, number one, I just had a patient yesterday that came in with elbow pain. She had pain in her elbow, very sore, tended to the touch. She was getting some tingling down into her pinky side of her hand. So she's like, I've been to physical therapy, I want to work out, and my medical doctor said, go see Dr. Osar. So I evaluated her. First, actually, let me back up a step. I actually took her history because one of the things that fitness professionals don't really get taught well and don't always appreciate the importance of is the history. Because again, this is a woman who has a history of being a Division I gymnast. Now think about a Division I gymnast. So she's in her late 40s now, but think about a Division I gymnast. Think about the high level that this woman functioned at. And she'd done gymnastics, and so I asked her, how long did you do gymnastics? From the age of 3 to the time she graduated college. So that's a long time at a high level. In fact, she actually wasn't even in school. Like she basically did gymnastics through grade school and high school, 6 to 7 to 8 hours a day. Now then she went to college and did gymnastics there as well. So now you think about this woman. Here she is in her 40s. Now she's got 5 kids, so twins. She has a C-section with one of her pregnancies. So here she is, and she's not working out like she used to. She tried to work out last year, but as you start to think about the history, and then she also mentioned broken nose, broken fingers, torn rotator cuffs in both shoulders. She had fractured tibias on both sides. She had a history of some low back issues. So you start to think about that, you're like, wow, this woman's had a lot, her body's been through a lot, and she's had a lot of trauma just in gymnastics alone, let alone all the trauma that they have, broken bones and sprains and a couple concussions. So when you start to look at the history, you start thinking like, okay, maybe this elbow pain isn't simply just elbow pain. Maybe it's just manifesting as elbow pain. So there's really 3 things I want you to think about when your clients come in with elbow pain. Because we think about like, oh yeah, we need to stretch this out and rub this and do all this stuff. And she already had that done and it hadn't helped and it was getting worse, okay? So there's 3 things I want you to know about, I should say 3 locations as to where this elbow pain or any elbow pain can be coming from. Number 1, yeah, it could be obviously right at the elbow. So let's just rule that one out. So right at the elbow itself. Now these are the people that come to you and they've likely been working at the computer a lot, which is everybody these days. Maybe they started a new exercise program. Maybe they just started creating, or I should say, just started doing things like tennis or golf. They could be more active. The weather's changing. We just change the clocks ahead, so they're outside being more active. So these are people that may have direct elbow issues. But if your client is coming in with chronic elbow pain, that's probably not them. So it's probably not actually their elbow that's the issue. Now, as you start moving your way up, it can be coming from the shoulder. Okay. Now, how does the shoulder relate to the elbow? Well, obviously, the shoulder is the ball and socket joint, and the elbow sort of follows along with the shoulder joint, or it follows along with what the hand and wrist are doing. So the shoulder, if you see a lot of our clients with that forward shoulder position, you actually do this with me. So slump your shoulder down, and if it's already slumped down, just leave it down there, okay? And now as you're down there, I want you to flex and extend your wrist. So basically I'm just doing like flexing and extending my wrist with your arm straight, but really pull it down. So really pull it down on the side and flex and extend it and get a sense of how much that range of motion, with the range of motion in your wrist feels like, okay? Just kind of bend it back, bend it forward, keep the elbow straight though. So you're just moving at the wrist right now, okay? Okay, now put your shoulder back up where it belongs, hold it up there, and now flex and extend your elbow, and what did you notice? So do it one more time. Put your shoulder back down, like way down, flex and extend your wrist, and then put your shoulder back up where it belongs, and do the same thing. And you'll notice that when your shoulder is back up here where it belongs, much freer range of motion. And that same thing applies to the elbow. So a lot of shoulder issues will manifest as elbow issues, or elbow issues will, shoulder issues will manifest as elbow issues because you increase the tension because of the downward pull of the shoulder, the downward pull of the nerves coming out of the neck, and the increased myofascial tension that's created as a result. So again, so you can sort of rule out the elbow, start to think about the shoulder. Now we just mentioned nerves. The nerves coming out of the neck, so your brachial plexus, brachial referring to the upper limb, the arm, plexus meaning a network of nerves that come out of your neck. So C5 to T1 is a brachial plexus, and then those nerves run down your arm to innervate to connect to all the muscles and skin and structures of your upper extremity. Well, your C8 nerve, there's only 7 vertebrae in your neck, but there's 8 nerves because there's a nerve that comes out underneath C7. That's your CH nerve. Your CH nerve and your T1 nerve, they innervate in this area of your lower arm. Now, there's a division called the ulnar division of the brachial plexus. So that nerve actually goes to this side of your hand. So the ring finger and the pinky side, the medial side, or I should say the medial side of the hand, and the inside of the forearm and into the elbow. And oftentimes, when you get entrapment of that brachial plexus, so entrapment can happen at the neck, it can happen as it comes underneath your collarbone, between the collarbone and the first rib. It can also happen underneath your chest before it goes down the arm. So I did tests to determine where this nerve could be potentially impinged as it's going out of her neck, underneath her collarbone and down her arm. And it seemed the area that seemed to be most relevant was her neck. When I moved her neck, it created and reproduced some of her issues in her hand. Now, we looked at her breathing, okay, because your neck muscles will get tight when you're not breathing optimally. You used to overuse those neck muscles, and she was a very neck and chest dominant breather. So when she was breathing in, lifting her chest up, breathing out, chest comes down. Breathe in, breathe out. And I said to her, I believe your issues in your elbow are coming from your neck. Part of that is related to how you're breathing. And you're not breathing well through your diaphragm and through your intercostal muscles and through your abdominals and your pelvic floor. You're breathing a lot with your neck and upper chest. And she's like, whoa, as a gymnast, I was taught to stand up this way. And I was taught to breathe up here because, again, it's all about presentation, right? And think about this woman. She was a gymnast from the time she was 3 through college, doing 6 to 7 to 8 hours of high-level gymnastics. So do you think that may have changed her breathing strategy? Do you think that may have caused some issues in her neck, shoulder, and upper back? Absolutely. So I could have chased her elbow pain and had nothing change as a result of that. I could have chased some of her shoulder issues and maybe changed a little bit. However, we addressed the root cause, which was her neck. So when we start thinking about issues in the upper extremity, could be elbow issues, could be wrist and hand issues, start to think about other areas that could be driving issues. So we helped her create better alignment of her head and neck and her rib cage. We taught her how to better breathe into using her diaphragm, her intercostals, and breathing down towards her pelvic floor. So that way she was able to align herself better. It reinforced optimal alignment. It helped recruit the diaphragm in the deeper muscles like the intercostals and use your transverse abdominis better and your pelvic floor better. And it helped to reduce, most importantly, the overuse of her scalenes in that breathing process. And that's how you can really help a lot of clients that have been struggling with chronic issues, even after they've seen a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a physical therapist, when medications hasn't worked, and they're still having these issues. So you're not diagnosing your client, you're not helping them with their pain specifically, you're helping them with the things that you know how to do best as a specialist. You look at their posture, you look at their movement strategy, and you consider their source, the underlying source, based upon their history, as well as based upon the assessments that you do. Breathing is a super easy assessment to do. Just watch how they're breathing. You can do that virtually and or in person. So, I hope that helped you. Look to your principles: alignment, breathing, and control, the principles of the integrated movement system, and that's why we base our entire foundation off those principles, because we believe that when you help your client better align, better breathe, better control, you give them a strategy for more optimal posture and movement, which sets them up for success as they do the things that they need to, want to, and ultimately return to many of the things that they love to do. Number one. Number two, next time, I'm back next week, I should say, next Thursday. We've got our good friend, Dr. Dan Ritchie of the Functional Aging Institute. So Mary will put a link for that sign up. If you're not part of our newsletter, jump on our newsletter and you get that link to the sign up. Otherwise, she'll put the link here next to this video for Dr. Dan's webinar. We're going to sit down and discuss some of the strategies to help you be more successful with training the older adult, because that's who we serve here in our office, Chicago Integrated Movement Specialists. It's who we teach most of our information to, those of you that work with the older adult population. And Dr. Dan and his community at Functional Aging Institute have done a great job of bringing awareness around training the older adult, and more importantly, strategies for helping you succeed in training the older adults. So I'm super excited to have Dan on our platform, because we've taught much on his platform. So I'm happy to introduce you to him next week. So join up for that webinar as well. Also, if you're looking for more information on elbow, wrist, and hand, Mary will put the link to True Anatomy Geeks. We're covering a 3-part series on the elbow, wrist, and hand, and specifically how to address those issues. Then we have a webinar for Dr. Dan next week. And then finally, we're coming up to the 1-year anniversary of our lockdown here in Chicago. It's easy for me to remember when it was because of the Chicago, March 21st here in Chicago, which is also coincidentally my wife's birthday. So it's very easy for me to remember the day we got locked down. So think about this. We are on a year, right? Coming up to an entire year of being locked down here in Chicago. And really, there's no end in sight. Yeah, things are looking sort of optimistically, and things that people are like, I just want to get back to normal. First of all, there's not going to be normal as what we used to know as normal. You can see that already. Second of all, we're still in it. It's not, vaccines, masks. We're still in it. That's not changing anytime soon either. Third is, I want you to think back to your year, right? And how did you use this past year? Because I don't know about you, but I was talking to a couple of my patients yesterday about this. Like, I can't believe how fast this past year went. I mean, this whole past year seems almost like a blur. It's gone by so fast. So even being locked down, even not traveling like we normally travel, not doing the things that we normally would do, the year just flew by. How did you use that year? I want you to really answer that question. How did you use that year? Were you strategic about how you used this time? Did you spend more time with your family and your friends? Did you get more connected with your source, whatever your source may be, whether that be God or your spiritual source or your universal energy source? Did you start to create more optimal habits and or business strategies to help you in these coming days? Or did you spend too much time being angry and frustrated and anxious and posting social media stuff and looking all over the social media for things that irritated you, or things that you like, hey, yeah, I'm going to get behind that, and just get angry and frustrated and be divisive in your community? Or did you help bring people together? Did you help be that leader that our communities need to bring people together, to accept people regardless of their opinions, or regardless of their beliefs, regardless of their stances? And I'm human too. I get caught up in it all the time. However, I always come back and really get myself grounded. Every morning, I journal. Every single morning, I will journal. Because it's a time for me, I use the opportunity, maybe use prayer, maybe use meditation. I'll do my breathing as well. So I'll do my breathing, I'll do my journaling, because it helps me get reflective. It helps me get focused on what's important. And even my friend yesterday, she's like, dude, stop sending me this stuff. Get back on track. I'm like, oh yeah. I need to kick it in the butt. Like, stop wasting time. Stop focusing on things that you cannot control. And that's really the thing that I want to leave you with is, are you controlling the things that are within your control? Your mindset, how you think, and the actions you take, and then thirdly, how you're serving your community. So thank you for allowing me to serve you guys, and hopefully that message resonates. So think about, how did you spend the last year, and what do you need to do, because we got some more time here. What are you going to do today and tomorrow and the day after that to get yourself ready, take action, and move yourself towards your goals, serving the people that need you to be there for them? So, hope you like that message. Hope it resonated. Give it some thought. and we'll see you next time at Integrative Movement Institute. This is Dr. Evan Osar. Mary will put all the links next to this video. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time here at Integrative Movement Institute. Make it a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.